Joining me in studio is one of eNCA's producers, Mabutho Ncqobo, very knowledgeable when it comes to this kind of tradition, these kinds of rituals. Mabutho, morning. Thanks so much for stepping or popping into the hot seat. So let's just reflect on what we've actually seen happening here, the richness, like I described it earlier. It was powerful, rich, beautiful moments that we saw in the face of tragedy. And that has kind of struck me, even from the time when we saw the passing of King Goodwill's Welatini as well, is the ability of the Zulu nation to celebrate someone's life and to bring such power and such joy to someone and to pay tribute to them and to pay tribute to their life, even at a time of sadness and mourning and loss.
Indeed, my colleague. You can see Amabutho, the regiment, they are there. You can also see the Zulu maidens, they are there. Remember that part of the reason why you'll see a lot of Zulu maidens there is because she is credited for reviving the reed dance, because it was closed down in 1879. It was stopped altogether. It happened it was in July after the Battle of Ulundi. Remember, there was this important battle, the Anglo-Zulu War in January 1879, where the AmaZulu army defeated the mighty British army using spears while they were using powerful weapons. But then it didn't end there. They went on reorganizing themselves, and then there was another battle called the Battle of Ulundi in July, so 6 months later. So unfortunately, AmaZulu army was defeated in that Battle of Ulundi in July 1879. So when they were defeated, all cultural activities that were done before, you know, they ended, including the reed dance. So it ended up there, and then it was only revived in 1991. So many are crediting the Queen for reviving that culture. So she's a very important figure in AmaZulu nation. And again, also in the 80s, early 80s, there was a tension between AmaZulu and the Swazis, or people from Eswatini, because there was that contestation about a certain part of Zululand, Ngwavuma, the land of Ngwavuma. Eswatini claiming that Ngwavuma should be part of their land. So there was that contestation, but many are crediting the regent Queen for playing an important role in ensuring, because remember that she's a daughter of King Sobhuza and the brother of the current king of Eswatini. So they are saying that she played a huge role in ensuring that that tension, it does not become something that, you know, results to the blood spill and stuff like that. So she's a very important figure. But beside that, she's just a lovely person. I mean, if you've not met her, I mean, you can look at the picture on your background. You can see that she's such a nice person. In Zulu, we say unokazi. So somebody who's loved, even if you've never chatted with her, but you can see that.
Face tells a story.
Exactly.
A face tells it, and I suppose and eyes, I suppose, as many say, the windows to the soul. So tell us a little bit about what you know of the rituals that are being observed here, Mabutho. I mean, what would be happening inside as they take her? I mean, Ncqobo explained to us what was happening at Donald Gordon Medical Center earlier, where the spirit of the Queen, the late Queen, was being spoken to say this is what is happening. What would be happening at the mortuary inside there now?
Usually there will be an elder who will be carrying the leaf of the tree called umpafa or umlahlankosi. I think in English it's called a buffalo tree, but we need to investigate that. I stand to be corrected. But the most important thing is that the person who will be conducting that ritual will be carrying the tree. It's usually an elder in the family. That person will be taking the spirit of the departed person, and usually you will speak as if that person is alive, because in the Zulu culture, you are not dead. You are with your ancestors. So there will be that person. So they will take her spirit, and then they will be talking, and then they will go all the way from here in Johannesburg, going via Emelo, in Mpumalanga and Piet Retief. It's so interesting. They will be passing through a town called Piet Retief. Remember, in 1837, if I'm not mistaken, or 1838, Pete Retief, one of the 4 trackers, went to the Zululand where he met King Dingane. And unfortunately, he was killed there because King Dingane of AmaZulu Nation thought that they were there just to trick her, so to trick him. So they would be passing through Eswatini, Pete Retief, and then all the way to Opongolo, that is in KwaZulu-Natal. And then Opongolo, they would be going there to KwaNongoma.
Is that a specific route taken, or is that just the route to get to where they actually take, or is there a reason that they would be taking that particular route?
That's a good question, because somebody in the newsroom was asking me, why are they going to Mpumalanga, because we know KZN, where KZN is.
The only one route we know, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, if you are in KwaNongoma, it's much more an easier route to go via N17 all the way to KwaNongoma, rather than going from KwaNongoma to Durban, which is a long trip on its own, and then from Durban all the way from entry to Johannesburg. So it's an easier route. If you're coming from Zululand, most of the people who are coming from Zululand, they go via N17 all the way to Pete Retief, Emelo, up to Johannesburg. It's not like there's something special.
Okay, so there's no significance. It's just a matter of logistics, I suppose.
Exactly, you're quite right.
Especially with such a large, I suppose, procession and entourage as well. Let's talk about time. I mean, in Hindu culture, there's a lot of things we do based on time. We have to check what is the right time, whether, you know, when your child is born, things are based around the time they were born, the date as well. Also looking at when you're going to get married, you go to a priest, you find out what is a good time, good day. Does that apply here as well when it comes to Zulu culture? Is there a specific time that things have to be done, certain things have to be done? Like, do they have to leave the mortuary at a certain time? And we know also tomorrow, the ceremony that's going to happen before sunrise tomorrow, particular reasons for that?
It depends, because we're now living in modern days. You know, some of the things may not happen in exactly...
very different times as well.
We're living in a very different times, because even, for instance, if they may say that we want to arrive at KwaNongoma before the sun set, it may be impossible because of some logistics. Right now, they're still here in Johannesburg, so there may be a possibility that they may not arrive at the time that they want to arrive exactly there at KwaNongoma. So there may be what we are talking about, but then the challenge in the modern days, you know, there are a lot of logistics. You may go there, find out that you have to wait. There are some other logistics that need to be done.
All right. And in terms of how different things might be for what was done for her husband, King Zwelithini, the late king, and what will be done for Queen Mantfombi, what would there be much of a difference? We saw the male role, you know, sort of dominate at that time. What happens now when it is a queen?
It's difficult to say, because, you know, these things do not happen on a daily basis, where you know that, okay, this has happened, this is what is going to happen. Also, cultures tend to be fluid, they tend to change. And also, as I was saying, that we're living in modern days, some of the things, they may not happen exactly in the same way as they used to happen before. But we're expecting that a lot of the things that happened when His Majesty passed on last month are going to happen. Already we've seen the regiments, Mabutho Zulu, because as is, she was a regent. Yeah. On top of being a queen. So we also saw the Zulu maidens. So chances are that we are going to see a lot of Zulu maidens, because, as I said earlier, that she's credited for reviving that reed dance. So we are going to see a lot of maidens. Probably they will be more dominant than Mabutho, because remember that King Zwelithini was a male figure and was a commander-in-chief of Mabutho, the Zulu regiment. But also the queen, because she was a regent. She is also a commander-in-chief of Mabutho or Zulu regiments.
Okay, all right, we'll give you a break. Walking textbook that you are, Mabutho Ncqobo.